Welcome to the weekly update for AnonNewsToday. Let's start off with Bitcoin news again this week. The price has been dropping steadily over the past few days, and according to Bitstamp, sits at approximately $460. The court case surrounding Mt. Gox continues to drag on. After the former exchange filed for bankruptcy protection several months ago, the Tokyo court has, this week, given permission for proceedings to continue, and liquidation of the company to commence. This ultimately means the exchange is still looking for a buyer, and that affected customers will likely receive less money back, if any. Google Play is in the news again this week, with several apps being taken down from the store because of inbuilt malware targeted at mining bitcoins. 6 wallpaper apps have been removed from the Google Play Store after the discovery of malicious Bitcoin mining software embedded into the apps was found. Be careful what you download and monitor your apps for harmful and out of the ordinary activity. European nations continue to fight over injustices in Ukraine. Russia warned Kiev on Friday that it would face justices for bloody crimes committed in eastern Ukraine. Ukrainian forces killed up to 5 pro-Russian rebels a day earlier. Washington said Moscow was running out of time to defuse the crisis before facing further sanctions. However, Russian President Vladimir Putin has scoffed at the sanctions that have already been imposed, which have been limited to travel bans and overseas asset freezes. This week's tech news is all about pwned apps, mobile devices, and personal security threats. The Android Trojan iBanking malware Quadars is in the news again, as it has begun targeting Facebook users via web injects. This virus bypasses two-factor authentication, and when installed on mobile devices, can easily spy on users' communications, redirect calls, and capture audio. Viber is back in the news again this week. According to researchers from the University of New Haven in Connecticut, Viber's apps send user messages in unencrypted form. The unencrypted data includes photos, videos, doodles, and location images. All the data from Viber's users is also stored unencrypted on Viber's servers, rather than being deleted immediately. Currently, the US law enforcement agencies are at a disagreement over how mobile phones should be handled by the Department of Justice. The US Department of Justice filed a brief with the Supreme Court on Tuesday, in which it argued for warrantless phone searches. In fact, the DOJ maintains that a phone is like an object, or a package that a police officer can seize. The flip side of this argument calls for mobile phones to have a kill switch enabled, both on the device and remotely. This would deter theft of the device, as the law enforcement coalition Secure Our Smartphones calls such robberies a growing epidemic. The internet exploded last night after it was announced that the FCC was considering a new set of net neutrality rules that would let broadband providers negotiate individual deals with content providers. The FCC chairman, Tom Wheeler, has handed over his ideas to his fellow commissioners so that they have time to look it over before voting on it on the 15th of May. Don't panic yet, because the rules are open to the public comment, and this is where we step in. After a spate of national security leaks, and with cybercrime on the rise, the Department of Homeland Security is vying with the private sector and other 3 little federal agencies to hire and retain talent to secure federal networks and contain threats to American businesses and utilities. Fuck the government, come work with us. In a study spanning nearly 2 years, Scott Irvin and his team were given free rein through all the medical equipment used at a large chain of Midwest healthcare facilities to ultimately assess security problems. The team found many faults in the systems used, equipment, and staff. I'll give you a few examples and you can make up your own mind. Bluetooth-enabled defibrillators, Wi-Fi X-ray machines, medical records available at any PC. For the Anons out there, some good news this week. The gag order on Barrett Brown's court documents has been lifted thanks to District Court Judge Sam Lindsay. The judge's orders was eagerly anticipated and will now allow additional media scrutiny on the case. Some of the detention hearings still remain sealed for no justifiable reason. I wanted to introduce a new part of this recap. Suspicious Observer is a website, also with videos on YouTube, that describes, explains, and introduces people to space weather and weather around the globe, and provides daily updates and such. As time goes on, we'll touch on elements of what it said on the site. Earthquake factors are rising slowly, back to moderate levels. A 6-point quake was exhibited in the Ring of Fire, and a few mid-sized tremors off the US and Canadian coastlines. Tornadoes began dropping again in the United States, with multiple structures destroyed. No big flaring for the sun after the large X-flare earlier this week. All looks quiet. As a result, the Earth could experience medium space weather over the next few days. One corona hole is exiting the sun, and it seems none are approaching on the eastern limb. I have attached a link to the description. Check it out. Informative stuff. Thanks for listening. Peace out.